Ryan, first of all, man, what's your take on all of this preseason attention you're getting regarding the draft? Pro baseball. I mean, everything I read about you kind of seems to be looking ahead for you right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of surreal right now, seeing all those things. And, it's hard to ignore, sitting in class, getting a notification on Twitter, or, it's hard to ignore that kind of stuff. But, I think the real good players just, like, put that to a side when they come to the field and, try to be the best teammate, best pitcher, best, person they can be each and every day. And, if I take care of those three things, then the rest is going to take care of itself, and I'm going to be happy with the result.
I think that's right, and we hear that from players all the time. But how hard is that?
It is hard. We talk about, filling our cup up with clear water, and if you take that, you take it with a grain of salt. Some people can let it get to their head, and, it kind of changes the person they are. But, I just try to read it with a grain of salt because, no one really knows, what's going to happen in the draft. It's just, estimates. So, I just try to put my head down every day and get better as a player and a person. So.
Did you think about this much in high school, kind of climbing the ladder and catching the attention of scouts and things?
Yeah, it was kind of different in high school, not knowing what to expect. Kind of all hit me at once with the scout meetings coming in at home, and then, now going through it once, I know what to expect, kind of know how to handle the scout meetings and kind of put it aside and, put my team first and my teammates.
What do the scouts say to you, or have they said in those meetings? I mean, what makes you such a high prospect right now?
I think that the main thing that they see is I've taken jumps from, high school and then my freshman year to the summer. So, just continue to make those strides. And also, my velocity has been there, and, my command to both sides of the plate. And also my slider has gotten a tick better and, harder for the hitters to pick up.
How do you become draft eligible as a sophomore? I know it's an age thing. Do you have a late birthday or?
Yeah, it's if you turn 21 within 40 days of the draft. So I barely made the cut. So right on the borderline.
All right. Okay. What's your best pitch, man? When you talk about continuing to improve and make steps, what do you think is your out pitch right now?
Probably my out pitch would be my slider. I think that I have a good feel on it to get it over for a strike, in even counts or down counts. And then, I have the ability to, put somebody away, ahead in the count and, able to get a swing and miss in the dirt or, get a swing or get a strikeout looking. But I also, have a lot of confidence in my fastball too, just to, get it past the barrel, when I need to.
What is your velocity right now, and how important is that to your makeup as a pitcher?
Yeah, I think last outing, last week, I was 92, 94. Velocity, it's not all about velocity. It's about, executing pitches to location. So that's what we, Coach B really preaches on in the bullpen is, there's not a hitter in there. There's not a radar gun. In the bullpens, we're really focusing on, executing a pitch, and that's how we judge our bullpens, whether if they're good or bad. And then in the game, you put all three of those together, and, that's your outcome right there.
Do you think hitters fear or are bothered more by velocity, just a big dynamite thrower, or are they bothered more by execution, as you're saying?
I would say a little bit of both. If a guy's up there, in the high 90s and, it's probably not very comfortable for a hitter to be in there facing, that kind of velocity. But, also a guy that's able to execute to both sides of the plate, not only can you take out the inside part of the plate away, but you got to worry about the outside part of the plate. And if he can execute all three of his pitches to, both sides of the plate, it's, very tough as a hitter to, get hits in those counts.
Have you added a pitch or anything to your game this season?
No, I wouldn't say I added it. I would say my curveball from last year has kind of transformed into more of a slider or a slurve. It's got more side-to-side movement than it, did last year. I think last year was more up and down movement.
How would you like to be better? Where would you like to improve?
I'd like to improve on my changeup. Last year it was kind of a distance pitch, and that's what I've worked on this offseason is, being able to throw that in there for a strike and 0-0 counts or to a big righty to, kind of limit my pitch count to be able to get deeper into games. And, Coach B and the staff is preaching that we need, guys to get deeper in the game as starting pitching. And, I think that our guys have, gotten, grasped that and really taken it to heart, and working on limiting our pitch count to get the seventh, eighth inning and save our bullpen for the rest of the weekend.
What do you see as the strength of this staff?
I would say that definitely the depth. As you heard, last week, the first 8 guys out there didn't throw a ball under 91 miles an hour, and that's pretty tough as a hitter coming down first day of the inter squads and seeing that kind of velocity. And just as a staff, having 8 guys that can throw the ball, in the strike zone at 91 plus, is a strong staff to look forward to this year.
Why do you think, Ryan, that this team is getting so much preseason notoriety, considering the fact you guys didn't make the NCAAs last year?
I think it has a lot to do with a year of experience from us as sophomores, having that experience last year, and really coming out this year with confidence and knowing what to expect. And I think we got a good mix of upperclassmen and sophomores, and then our freshman class coming in. And I think the upperclassmen and our class as well has done a good job with the freshmen of take them under our wing and show them what to do and what we expect this year, and that's nothing less than go to Omaha. So I think everybody's on the same page right now, and we're going to continue to strive for that.
Okay. A lot of talk about the pitching right now, the depth that you mentioned and whatnot. How do you think this team will be offensively? Do you think it will be improved?
Absolutely. I think that our hitters are have a sour taste in their mouth from last year. Didn't really have the season they wanted at the plate. So the swings have been looking really good in inter squads, and I think that our team captains Feigl and Golson have been really honing in on those hitters being at the plate and not taking one pitch for granted to be up there to execute their job.
Who stood out to you in fall workouts in terms of getting off good swings, base hits, things?
You talking about income freshmen or anybody?
Oh, anybody. Who stood out offensively for you?
Honestly, Tobin Stiller looked really good, in the inter squads. He looked really confident at the plate, and we're making good swings on balls and getting in good counts and putting a good swing on it. And also Golson, of course, he's going to be always there, just hit after hit, along with Fortes. And I think Cooper Johnson had a really good fall and continue this spring is putting good swings on the ball. So that's really exciting to see.